Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is making his way to Washington, where he will meet U.S. President Joe Biden and deliver a landmark speech to Congress. His visit comes at a time of great political uncertainty amid mounting calls from back home to end the war in Gaza.
At a time when Israel is fighting on 7 fronts and when there's great political uncertainty in Washington, I will address for the 4th time both houses of Congress as the Prime Minister of Israel. I will seek to anchor the bipartisan support that is so important for Israel. And I will tell my friends on both sides of the aisle that regardless who the American people choose as their next president, Israel remains America's indispensable and strong ally in the Middle East. I plan to see President Biden, whom I've known for over 40 years. This will be an opportunity to thank him for the things he did for Israel in the war and during his long and distinguished career in public service as senator, as vice president, and as president.
On the ground, at least 37 people, including children, have been killed in Israeli air raids and shelling in Khan Younis. The IDF says it is conducting a, quote, forceful operation following earlier reports of rocket fire and militant activity in the area. The attack comes after new evacuation orders were issued by the Israeli military, telling residents to flee to nearby al-Mawasi. The IDF says it's trying to keep the civilian population away from areas of combat by adjusting the borders of a humanitarian zone in the area. And for more, Sarah Coates joins us live from Tel Aviv. Sarah, what can we expect Mr. Netanyahu and President Biden to discuss during their meeting?
Hello there, Wei-Su. We did hear from Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, of course, before he jetted out to Washington early this morning. He says they will be discussing very important issues for both of these countries, including these ongoing efforts to release these remaining Israeli hostages still being held in Gaza. Now, he was actually accompanied by a number of these recently freed hostages like Noah Argamani. And we do need to remember just how much pressure Benjamin Netanyahu is under. The latest poll that just came out here in Israel shows that more than 70% of the Israeli public believe that he should step down over his handling of the war and his real inability, that's the way it's seen, to get these hostages freed. So what this trip will really do for Benjamin Netanyahu is give him the opportunity to sort of reaffirm his leadership and also to sort of set, I think you could say, his relationship with US President Joe Biden after a few very, very frosty months, given that the United States held up this shipment of heavy weapons to Israel and has been pretty critical of Israel's ongoing operation inside Gaza. What we do need to remember here is that he's really trying to shore up this support. And US President Biden still has another 6 months in the White House. And as we've been hearing from Benjamin Netanyahu, he has been extremely defiant, saying no international pressure will stop the war in Gaza until we have achieved all of our goals.
Well, thanks to Sarah Coates reporting live from Tel Aviv.